What is going on, Washington football team fans? Another video coming at you from the Washington Football Report. My name is JD. I'm going to dive into this. So, actually, I might get a rebrand because it's a new name. This video is going to be there's a little bit of ranting here about the Washington football team changing its name to the Washington Commanders. It was announced, maybe it's 9:15 right now. It was announced about an hour ago. Did a video. I swore a lot in that, so I was like, I need to remake this. It needs to be a little bit more user-friendly and not, let's say, cuss fest. So, what are my initial thoughts on the rebranding? Well, first off, initially, it's the worst team name in the NFL. There's not one worse. You name me one team name that's worse than the Washington Commanders. It has no resonation. It doesn't ring anywhere. It doesn't have any kind. It doesn't resonate. It doesn't roll off the tongue. Washington Commanders. It's a cheap ass AAF team name that we took. We even took their stupid hashtag from San Antonio Commanders. If you don't know, the AAF is a league that was out about two springs ago, and they had a team called the San Antonio Commanders, and it was like a purple and red team or something, like some color scheme. It was just weird, and we stole a name from that team. So our rebrand is just awesome. I mean, this is exactly what the fans wanted. We wanted a name that was from a third-rate football league that doesn't exist anymore. That was exactly what we wanted. If you haven't noticed, I'm being very condescending right now. That is not what the fans wanted. The fans wanted. I'm just being honest. You can disagree with me if you want. On a lot of I checked out polls everywhere. If you Google polls about the Washington football team name, you will find that Washington Post did polls, the New York Times did polls, the USA Today did polls. There's also lots of Twitter polls. There's NBC Sports Washington. All of them were overwhelming that the Red Wolves was the choice. Now, why do I think they came to this conclusion? I mean, I actually have been posting on Twitter all day, so let me switch over to my Twitter. I've been posting on Twitter all day, and I had one post that pretty much sums up exactly how they landed on this team. Before I get to that, though, I don't think this team name is very good. I kind of hope we get another owner so we can have another rebrand. I hope tomorrow Dan Snyder is basically told that he has to sell the Washington football team and someone buys it, and like, the Commanders is freaking stupid. Let's go with what the fans want. We'll spend a little bit of money and get the trademark that the fans want and get a team. I'll tell you exactly. I'm going to tell you exactly why. And in 20 years from now, 10 years from now, however long it is, from the time where now until Jason Wright loses his job with Washington, kind of like RG3 did. It has a tell-all video with Washington, a tell-all book with Washington. We're going to have a tell-all from Jason Wright, and he's going to explain this process. And he's a bold-faced liar. I mean, he probably has to. He's getting paid by the guy to tell, like, Dan Snyder to tell a good story. We feel this is what the fans want. We feel there's a connection to the community and to the fan base and to the Washington Redskins. There's no connection. What connection do you have? There's no connection here. Okay? There's other connections that you could have with other names, but I can tell you exactly why you chose this. I'll tell everyone exactly why you chose this. The reason why I chose this, let me switch over to Twitter, is I'll read verbatim exactly why they chose this name. The reason why they chose this name, this was sent at Who is Jason Wright. So I don't know if that's actually him. It might be just someone posting shit. This has zero connection to the past. And no, this is not what the fans wanted. You have a coach that wanted something military-based, which why the hell we letting the coach decide this? I like Ron Rivera, but Ron Rivera may not be here in 2 seasons. If he has a shitty season next year where he does not make the playoffs or at least get 10 wins and have a good season, or pick a good quarterback or draft a quarterback and in some way show some form of development, he may not be here. So why in the holy hell are we letting a coach that may not be here in 2 years make a decision as grand as this? And why is he factored into the decision? He should have no decision other than coach the football and make sure you win games, which he hasn't done that. He's got a losing record as a coach here for 2 years. So why the hell we're letting a coach who's not going to be here, he might not be here in 2 years, have grand decision that is long-term decisions like this for our franchise? I don't get that. Okay? Whenever the Texans became a team, they didn't hire a coach like, hey, what do you want to call this? That's not how it works. This team will exist long after Ron Rivera's gone and even Jason Wright's gone. So Ron Rivera, well, I'll just go with Ron Rivera for now. Ron Rivera should not have had any say in this. I know he likes the military shit. That's fine. I like military shit, don't get me wrong. But he shouldn't have had any say in this. But he wanted something military, and you have an owner that wanted to spend the least amount of money as possible. The least amount of money as possible, period. That is why we went with this name. It had nothing to do with what the people wanted. The people wanted, I told you, people wanted Red Wolves. There's still people on it's trending right now, Red Wolves, because there's so many people who are disappointed in the name. Okay, it's trending higher. It has a higher trending ratio than the actual Washington football team name. It really is trending better than that right now. And the reason why we went with this is Dan Snyder is the cheapest MFer in the world. He's one of the cheapest billionaires I've ever heard of in my life, that I've ever read about. He is the kind of person that charges people at a charity event parking. He's the one that sells expired beer. He's the one that doesn't do maintenance, pay for maintenance on his own football field. Okay? He's the one that didn't make enough of these to give the fans when they went to Sean Taylor's last game. He's an idiot that doesn't hire enough security to protect the damn memorial. Instead of virtue signaling like, oh, look, Sean Taylor's passed away, but we're going to let some prick dance on his goddamn memorial. That's kind of how Dan Snyder is. Let's just pay minimum cost. Let's maximize money, minimum cost, and make the fans like just dread dealing with us. I love the team. I hate dealing with the organization. Jason Wright's on the top of my list now for not. I'm not gonna say that because it's not his fault. He's just doing what he's told. I'm pretty sure he knows exactly what happened. Like I said, there's gonna be a 30 for 30 coming out or something like that in a couple years, in like 20 years from now, and they're gonna ask him about the rebrand. And he's like, actually, no. This was the most popular one, but Dan Snyder didn't want to pay the money for the copyright or whatever. He didn't want to pay any money for it. So we had to go with the best case scenario, cheapest option, which we had some military options that were available, so we went with one of those, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Okay? That's why they landed on Commanders. It had nothing to do with what people wanted. No one voted for the Commanders. It's the stupidest name ever. I mean, it's better than Belters, I guess, and I guess it's better than Washington football team. But it's not. It's the stupidest name ever. I'm not going to read that comment right now, but I do want to go to my bookmarks. And the reason why I'm going to my bookmarks, I'm at least going to go over the branding. The red jerseys. I mean, the name is the logo is dumb. We have 2 logos. So if you look at the red jersey, which it's trying to load, red jersey doesn't look the greatest. Sorry, it doesn't. It doesn't look bad, but it doesn't bad. It's just the Commanders thing looks stupid. It doesn't look horrible, but what the hell? Hold on. What is the point in this? You're not going to see that. As soon as they put the jersey on, you can't see that. You can't see that, so why even have that there? If anything, have it along the back or whatever. I could have sworn we saw like a never mind. This one looks horrible. I'm sorry. This looks like a knockoff, like some kind of a Cardinals or maybe even like the Atlanta Falcons knockoff jersey. There's no gold in it. There's barely burgundy. I don't think it's burgundy. It looks more like a red color, like a darker burgundy color. There needs to be gold. So if these stripes on the side were actually gold, I'd be okay with it. But they're not. This looks horrible. I'm sorry. Maybe put stripes there. Maybe make the collar yellow. I'd be okay with that. But this one looks the worst of the 3. And this one, it doesn't look as good on this one, but does have a little bit of the camo here. It looks good. It looks pretty good compared to the white one, and it's about on par with the red one. One mission, again, you can't see that, so what is the point in putting that there? The patch is not bad. I don't dislike... The patch is better than it was that leaked. The one that leaked looked horrible, okay? It had, like, the People's Team on it and crap like that. It looked horrible. This is, if you don't know, this is the actual patch for DC, or the flag for DC. 2 lines with 3 stars above it. Okay, so let's go down to, so that's our logo. We went from a W for Washington football team to W for Washington Commanders. Great. That's a massive rebranding there. Incredible rebranding. Oh my goodness. Like, how long did it take to come up with a W after you already had a W? We waited 2 years for this. We waited 2 years for this to get decided. Oh boy. And Commanders. Oh my God, they spelled the word Commanders, and I like, wow. I mean, what a rebrand. I mean, wow. That was so hard. I mean, I could come up with something slightly better than this with like word paint and word art on Microsoft Word. Honestly, this is not much of a rebrand here. They took 2 years to come up with a W shaped like that, and the word Commanders like that. They don't even have a proper logo. That's not a logo. That's a seal. Okay, that's not a proper logo. I mean, I like it because it has a lot of the history of the team. It has Washington Football Commanders. It shouldn't have Washington Football. It should just have Washington. It should just have Washington on top. Get rid of the Washington Football. We're getting away from the Washington Football team. It should just say Washington at the top. It has all of our championships. Great. I'm okay with that part. I'm actually okay with the 3 stars, and I'm okay with it as like a seal. But as our logo, it's garbage. It's not a logo. That's not a logo. It took 2 years to rebrand a W. That's how our football field is going to look. That's very generic. The logo in the middle is okay, I guess. But I would rather have a real logo. Get something like command, like someone who is actually like something that is a commander. What do we identify as a commander? What is it? What kind of military is it? Is a commander like in like World War II? Is it like a nowadays commander? What is it? Let's specify what it is. If people know what a Steeler is, it's someone who worked on steel. If people know what the Browns are, it has to do with the owner Browns, but it actually is Bulldog. Is some form of a dog. Like, what is the commander? Let's get like an image in our mind of what a commander is and have that as a logo. This is not a logo. This is just a seal. This is like the, I don't know. It's this rebrand is like really frustrating. Like, the seal doesn't look bad, don't get me wrong, but I don't want that to be our primary logo. It looks like garbage. It's just way too much going on for just a football logo. Okay? The Dolphins have a dolphin. Okay? The Titans have a sword with a couple stars around it. It actually is something like more. And I'm not showing any more of that. The helmets, like, it's just a W. Like, how does this, like, they took 2 years ago. This is how I'm getting noticeably frustrated with myself, and I can just tell I'm catching myself being frustrated here. Yeah, we're past the rebranding. Okay. So yeah, it took 2 years for Washington to come up with the Commanders, which they could have picked from day one, because it was probably available from day one because it's a cheap POS name, and it took them 2 years to come up with a W. When they came up with a W 2 years ago for the Washington football team as like our logo. So yeah, this is the Washington football team's organization hard at work here, folks. And the jerseys, I mean, some of the jerseys don't look bad because I don't think you can screw up too much burgundy and gold stuff. It's just a good color scheme. And I actually like the black one, but you did screw up the white jersey because the white jersey has no burgundy in it. We're burgundy and gold, not white and red and black. We need more burgundy. I mean, the check mark has black. Woohoo. Put some yellow in here. Put some yellow around the collar. That'll be fine. And I think that will probably fix that'll probably fix this. But the white jerseys look like garbage. These look good. These are okay. These are pretty good. These are pretty good. These are garbage. So I'm dreading our white jerseys. So going back to my final thoughts on this. I guess I'm going to basically spend today and bitch. That's basically what I'm going to do. I told my wife I'm going to spend today. I'm going to bitch, and then I'm going to move on. I may have a new name for my channel. It's going to be related. I still like my team. I just don't like the team name. That's all there is to it. I'm going to be flat out honest about that. This team is the worst team name we could have picked. This is worse. I would say that you can't get much worse than rebranding the Washington Bullets to the Washington frickin' Wizards. You can't get much worse than that. Washington basically told Washington Redskins told them, hold my beer. I'm gonna make it worse than the Washington frickin' Wizards. Okay, Washington Wizards actually have a pretty cool logo, and they've actually it's not a horrible name. It rolls off the tongue pretty well, even though it has nothing to do with Washington. Washington Commanders is worse than that. So you thought it couldn't be outdone, it got outdone. So okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. So I want to thank everyone for watching my video. Please like, share, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. I'll go back to my Twitter really quick. My Twitter is WTF21WFT. So what the, 21, like Sean Taylor, and WFT, Washington Football Team, which I guess is going to change to maybe I'll change that to the Washington Commanders, Washington Football Command. I don't know. But that is my video. I want to thank everyone for watching, and hail to the Redskins. See ya.